Hyrule is a beautiful place filled with amazing things. However, besides all of that, there are also some insane people walking around in the world. And that's what we're going to look at. The 10 craziest people in the world of Zelda. Number 10. Now, when you're wandering through the world, you can come across some people that try to sell you stuff. And one of them is Beetle, and he's a bit wacky. He's a small-time businessman seen working on the high seas with his shop ship in the Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, within the gates of Hyrule Castle in the Minish Cap, and way more places. Now you can get a ton of things in his shop, and in a lot of the games he's extremely handy. However, he's a bit enthusiastic sometimes. He's known for his catchphrases and sounds that make him sound like a bit of a crazy fella.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Besides that, he's also an extreme workaholic, and these two things combined make him a bit crazy for the average person. Especially in Skyward Sword, he's insane for cycling that much. He should have been dead already, but clearly, he is very driven. Number 9. Everyone who has played some Zelda in their life knows about the Gorons, a tribe filled with golem-like beings and wise elders. Now one of their powerful elders, Gor Abazio, whatever, seen in Twilight Princess, helps you in your adventure. However, at some point, it becomes a little weird. The second most powerful elder in the Goron Society of Death Mountain becomes a huge advertisement in the end. His greatest wish is to be able to sell wares to multiple people before he passes away, which is possible if Link donates enough. He can be seen literally dancing in the Melomart Kakariko branch later on in the game, after Melomart has extended into Hyrule Castle Town. So what ends up happening is that this respected and wise elder stands in the shop all day, looking sad and making weird noises to promote his shop. A bit sad and crazy when you think about it. Apparently, he will go far to achieve his dream and do some crazy stuff to get there. A classic, crazy old coot. Number 8. Now from here on, we start to get to the more crazy people of Hyrule. Like, actually broken from the inside. Like a certain man found in Kakariko Village in A Link Between Worlds. He has a strange love for bees. The bee guy. He lives in a house displaying a bee sign close to the center of the town. He's an avid fan of... you know what I'm gonna say here. So much in fact, that he dresses up as one. He asks Link to catch any bees that he may encounter during his travels and bring them all to him. In order to help him with his task, the bee guy gives Link the bug net. And if he brings him a normal bee, he will be rewarded with a purple rupee. So his house is bee themed, he dresses up like one, and spends all of his money and savings on them. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now, why he does this is unknown, but for some reason he wants to put all of his time, effort, and resources into more bees. So yeah, clearly he is nuts. Number 7. Now, there are a lot more hobbies than just loving bees, and there are also a lot more crazy and obsessed people in the world of Hyrule. Like in Twilight Princess, there's one minigame master that scares and confuses me, like, equally. Falby, a former circus actor who owns the Flight by Fowl at Lake Hylia. In this minigame, you fly with a cuckoo over the lake and need to collect rupees. Well, colorful lines in the sky shaped like them at least. He seems to be more cheerful and enthusiastic about his job than Fire, who runs the cannon at Lake Hylia. Now, besides the fact that this entire minigame is bad crazy and can easily kill you, he seems to be a bit of a weird guy as well. Now, aside from his strange appearance and overall design, he just acts weird and extremely enthusiastic. A bit too much. He also calls you one big guy, and that certainly made me uncomfortable. And then he just hops away with his big grin and huge eyes. I don't know. He just gives me a bit of a crazy vibe. He's from the circus after all, and those people tend to be a bit, off track. Now, don't worry, circus folk watching this video. I still love you all, but this guy is just a bit nuts and weird. And it's not that surprising even, since according to Hyrule Historia, Felby was originally intended to be female. Clearly they were already confused on what to do since all of that changed. Number 6. In the world we can also find some more powerful beings than just hylians, like the Great Fairies, who gave people straight up nightmares for days. Their main purpose is to heal Link whenever he's wounded, and will also recover his magic power in games that incorporate a magic meter. In other titles such as Ocarina of Time and The Wind Waker, they also bless Link with new items, powers or upgrades of his existing equipment. The Great Fairies' appearance differ vastly between games, but the ones that have the little edge of mad are the ones seen in Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and Breath of the Wild, with their greetings, kisses, and other stuff being borderline questionable for the Hylian police. Now I know why they're like this. If you're such a powerful being, then you must become crazy at some point. You're bored after all. The problem with them is that they don't know what personal space is, and they touch and grab you all the time. As they would say, be trippin'. Number 5. Now some special characters are seen in other countries as well, like Holodrum and Termina. And there's one man that's certainly crazy. The Happy Mask Salesman. This man rumbles your shimmies all the time in Majora's Mask after all. And it's in this game where he acts like a complete psychopath who teleports all over the place and acts, very mysterious. Like I said, he rumbles your gym jams around and even threatens you. And besides that, he also has the most extreme mood swings I've ever seen in my life. The man clearly lost it long ago, but he's a mask seller after all. And even in Ocarina of Time, he's a bit odd. Besides that, he just acts creepy and shady in Majora's Mask, keeping some information for himself, since he seems to have more control over the situation than we might think. It could even be that the entirety of it is some weird psychotic game. It at least seems like that. Number 4. Some people dream of becoming a villain, and some actually do. However, there's also a wrong way of doing it. For example, the Mad Batter, a clearly confused creature seen in A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. He sleeps in altars found in underground caves, and Link may awaken him by sprinkling magic powder on the said altars. The Bat creature is known for providing Link with upgrades to punish him for having been released, but he inadvertently helps Link out. Clearly, he is very confused about what a punishment is and needs to work on that. It could be that he lost his marbles some time ago. It would explain why he's called a Mad Batter, and does the exact opposite of what he wants to do. He also asks you if he can take revenge on you for freeing him. He's extremely confusing in many ways, really. Not sure what his plan was, but when you read his dialogue and see his actions, you already know that he's crazy. Number 3. Instruments have had a big focus in the Zelda series and music as a whole, I would say. But there's one musician that's a bit, too much for me. Mostly in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, the windmill man Guru Guru is a bit strange. He's found in the windmill and laundry area respectively, where he's playing the phonograph. Overall, he's an unusually happy person and tends to have the most insane mood swings and the most extreme reactions imaginable. He gets upset rather quickly and then shoots back to his extremely happy mode, which gives off the feeling that his brain is pretty scrambled. In Ocarina of Time, he's even trying to come up with a musical theme inspired by this windmill, which is yet again weird. He looks more normal and nice than the Happy Mask Salesman, but underneath he's even more crazy. Number 2. Now the theme we are moving to is green and fairies. Now if you think for 5 seconds, Tingle. Yes, the madman we all know and love. A 35-year-old man who is obsessed with forest fairies. And above all, Tingle dreams to become a fairy himself. He dresses up in a green costume resembling the hero's clothes worn by Link. And he believes that these green clothes are the same as those worn by the forest fairies he seeks to emulate. Clearly this man is confused and his gym jams have had a good rumble from the Happy Mask Salesman. Back in the day I even made a video about his mental state and the conclusion was lycanthropy, which is a rare mental illness where you believe you are a certain animal or can become one. Besides that, he's just completely obsessed with fairies. He lives and breathes that shit. and goes quite far to get what he wants, even slavery, in the Wind Waker. Being around him is certainly worrying to an extent, since you don't know what he could do. Number 1. Now for our final weirdo, the one to rule them all like Lord of the Rings, but this time insanity themed. Tingle is obsessed with fairies, that's all fine and dandy, but our number 1 is similar, but this time it's monsters and it gets even weirder. Kilton, a hylian, I think, who is fascinated by monsters and has dedicated his life to studying them. He eventually sets up a shop called the Fang and Bone in Skull Lake of the Deep Akala region, where Link first encounters him. When it comes to his love for monsters, he is a bit too much, to the point where it becomes sickening. As soon as you talk to him, he already asks you how much you like monsters, and no matter what you say, he will answer, no, scream that he loves them more than you. And if you have monster parts on you, he will go nuts and reacts like it's some sort of extremely good smelling food. But they're dead body parts. Yeah. Clearly Kilton needs to calm down and get some help, because this is worrying to say the least. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch more videos, be sure to click the annotations and be sure to subscribe and click the little bell so you won't miss any videos. Be sure to do this. Also, check out my other social media like my Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. All kinds of fun stuff there.